Two questions. The opposition, or part of the opposition, NASA, they're saying that this election has been a fraud. I want to hear from you, what is your response in regards to this? Question number two, they're saying that they're going to announce their own results, which they have been tallying with their agents at the polling station level. What is your response in regards to these? And by when do you expect, legally we know that you are supposed to announce the winner of the presidential election, in 7 days, but do we really have to wait for 7 days, honestly?
Yeah, thank you for your questions. Yesterday, Kenyans turned out in large numbers to exercise their democratic right. And we saw long queues all over the country. The Commission got feedback that the election, the process of voting was free and fair. Now, what NASA says, and they have cast aspersions on one item of the electoral process, and that's the results transmission, which results are the ones which are being displayed on the screen. And I'm happy you are saying NASA also wants to tally the result. That's fine. But what we are saying is, from what I understood, the only issue is on the results transmission, not on the whole electoral process. And that's why the Commission is going a little bit, a mile longer, that instead of us just relying on the transmitted results, we're also calling for the original documents for purposes of knowing and verifying before we do the final announcement. It's only 1 day. We are now on the second day. We have 5 more days. It's doable. It's going to be done. And we shall give Kenyans what they deserve. We shall announce to Kenyans the results of a presidential election. Thank you.
Robert Magilla, CGTN. The NASA flag bearer, Raila Odinga, also claims that your system was hacked. Your response to that?
I'm sure I watched the press statement from the NASA presidential candidate. The system, whether it's hacked or not, those are aspersions which have been cast. Those are allegations. As a commission, we shall have our own investigative system to kick in. We shall come up with a methodology as to finding out whether or not those claims are correct. And several other claims were made as well. So we shall go into that and find out whether or not those claims are true. But we have faith in the system. It's the same system we used for verification. It's the same system we used for candidate management. It's the same system we are using now for the rest of the processes. So yes, if there are claims, we shall look into them. But as for now, I cannot say whether or not the system has been hacked.
Nicholas Delay from CAS TV. You've said you've called for Form 34B or F. My question is are you saying you are calling for the hard copies, or you are still waiting for the scanned copies as you had said before?
The scanned copies of Form 34As are here, most of them. And that's why we are saying we have set up a desk for the chief agents of the candidates to now start perusing the same. The scanned copies of Form 34Bs will also be sent direct to this center by the returning officers. But in addition to that, we have also called for the originals of those documents, both the Form 34As and 34Bs, so that we can move on with the exercise.
Question, Sam Gituku from Citizen TV. And first, if you could confirm or clarify how many forms you've received of the 34Bs, how many you have received from across the country electronically. And number two, when you're saying that you'll be receiving 34A and Bs, the physical forms, what is the deadline that you're giving? Finally, do you have an indication of the voter turnout as of the records you have so far?
Yeah, I think those are operational questions. Yes, I think you'll come in and answer some of them. But for purposes of what we have received, I think I would like the CEO who is leading the technical team to give the statistics of that. Thank you.
My name is James Retemo from the Media Council. Are you going to display the forms 34 for the public to overview?
Yes, thank you. Form 34 is available now to 34A, as I said, is available to the agents of the candidates. It's also been downloaded onto the public portal, and it can be viewed by the public.
My name is Lukawich from the Star. You said you are, the result being displayed is not final. Is it right to say like Kenyans should ignore whatever is being displayed by the Commission? And then secondly, the Form 34As that are in your possession, in comparison with whatever is being displayed, have you people realized any differences in terms of figures?
I didn't get your first question.
My first question was, you said that the results being displayed are not final. Is it right to tell Kenyans to ignore whatever being displayed and wait for the result that will be collected from 34A and B?
Okay, the results, the official results, and the law demands that the results are the results in the Form 34A and 34B. Those are the results which the law demands. And so we just want to comply with the law. And that's what I'm saying.
Chairman Olive Barrows from Capital FM. You're issuing conflicting statements. Do you have confidence in the systems, or are you saying there's a possibility that they were hacked?
I think I've said that, and I'll say it again. We set up a system which has carried us through, and as up to yesterday when Kenyans went to vote, it worked for them. It worked for us, for IBC. The system is set up to do results transmission, but we have had concerns raised, and we can't, as a commission, ignore those concerns, because it involves Kenyan voters as well. So basically what we are saying is, we want to look at the original forms, verify, and I think at the end of the day, we shall all do an audit, and those questions will be answered.